joined in the studio with Steve Greenberg, who runs Furnishing A Future, an organization that teaches returning citizens how to make furniture and make a living wage. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
My pleasure.
So give us some detailed information about your program and their goals.
Okay. Furnishing A Future works with returning citizens and returning veterans. And we have a training program that lasts about 5 or 6 weeks that teaches them the skills to become furniture craftsmen as well as ready to assemble craftsmen so that they could work in various fields. And most of the folks that I meet and work with after they've been incarcerated haven't worked for a while, and they generally don't have marketable skills. And so those are the folks that I work with. And I've written a program and a curriculum with local employers and had their input. So that what I'm doing is producing a program that's been seen and approved by employers as a good apprenticeship training program for them. So consider myself a feeder system to local employers in this field.
Wow, that's amazing. So do you normally see people that come to your program already having experience with their hands, or is this just new to them and you're training them?
Right. It varies. I do not require you to have experience. It's called the field of fine carpentry. And so I teach fine carpentry of making things with your hands and teaching how to assemble and produce actual furniture. I don't require it. That's all part of what I do. I teach them power tools, hand tools, and exactly the mechanics of working on something. And then they're producing functioning furniture that we're giving to the Philadelphia Furniture Bank, who then turns it over to people who are transitioning from homelessness into their first apartment. So it started from that side and then evolved to teaching them the mechanics.
So if someone is home watching this show and says, I have someone who's incarcerated who's about to come home and they are very great with their hands, how could they get into your program?
All they have to do is contact me. I work with several agencies in Philadelphia. One of them, that's several agencies that work with reentry programs. So I often get students from these agencies, but I also get people that contact me right from my website. And then just shoot me an email. I heard about your program, I'm interested, and I have them come in. And I just have them see what's going on. I try to understand what their level is. I need a certain level of math. And if they don't have it, I do have a math training program because there's a fair amount of math involved in fine carpentry. But otherwise, I'm really just looking for people that are ready to work now. I mean, the program is set up that you'll be interviewing for a job in the last week of the program.
Wow, so they're actually going for interviews.
Oh yeah, no, this is not for the hobbyist. I want someone who's ready to go. You know, not someone that says, yeah, this is kind of nice and I'll see. No.
Focus.
Yeah.
They need to be focused. What are some of the things that they are expected or will learn in your program?
Well, they're going to start by learning how to read specs, read actual program specs. And from there, they're going to go into what are the basics of working with wood. How does wood get joined? How does it get milled? How do you take raw materials and turn them into the building blocks? And then from there, we start on to more complicated projects, meaning we start on to a dining room table that's needed in people's homes. And then the final project is a full-scale dresser. So it's a fully functioning dresser, and if you can produce this dresser, you pretty much understand how to produce furniture.
You get the concept of how things connect and measurements.
Right. So there's a lot of measurement, there's a lot of academic side as well as hands-on. It's not just a concept, you're actually making functional furniture. And that's what helps these guys on interviews. It helps them that they can speak about specific furniture that they're making, as opposed to just talking in generalities.
So what advice would you give local businesses when it comes to hiring people that are in reentry process?
What I would tell them is to look at the person who's in front of you and judge them by whether they can make money for your company or not, and leave it at that. These guys are pretty anxious at this point in their life, they're pretty anxious to get back to work. So they're more motivated than most people would think.
Awesome.
And everybody will tell you the same thing. I'm older now, I'm a little wiser now, hopefully I'm not as stupid, and I'm ready to go.
Now, from what I've heard, there is such a level of excitement when they're leaving this program. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I can, because you feel it. I was telling someone recently that one of the guys who finished the program, the last thing that we do was deliver his dresser to the Philadelphia Furniture Bank. And when the truck came to pick up his dresser, and the guy was about to put it on the truck, this guy told him, "Stop, I need to talk with you first." And everybody, he goes, "When you give this dresser to somebody, you better make sure that they know that this wasn't bought in a store.
Wow.
That I made this."
Wow.
And that's what I believe honestly gives somebody an edge when they're sitting in an interview, that they can have some pride in what they've done, and it comes across.
Right.
So I know, because most of the companies that hire my guys will generally give them an exam on carpentry math, and then often they'll have them work in a shop for 2 days. And so you need guys that have the confidence to say, "Yeah, I can do that."
Right.
So it's a big difference.
All right, Steve, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank
And
you.
you are watching Philly Cam Voices. Have a good night.